friends, and welcome to episode 189 of The Rewind, a podcast dedicating to keeping its listeners on the cutting edge of the MMORPG Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. As always, Draq and I want to make sure that you guys know how much we appreciate you, and thank you for taking the time to listen to us each week, or every other week, or really whatever your schedule is, because you do you, boo-boo. You're awesome. If you didn't know, we also have ways you can give us money, because we like money, and this show costs it. So please, if you have the means to help us out, we would really, really appreciate it. You can check our Patreon in the link below, or become a YouTube member and pick whatever subscription tier is right for you. Well, lastly, we're on week 2 of Joppa No Streams. We're debating calling the police to see if we need to make a wellness check on him. I'm sure everything's fine. He's probably just busy dealing with life, which we all are. I certainly know that more than anybody, because if you guys haven't done it recently, working sucks and it takes all your energy away and you have no time for anything else. So I totally get it, Joppa. We miss you and we love you and we hope everything's good and you're safe and all is well in your world. In the meantime, on with the show.
Storm clouds loomed as the party stood atop the battered ramparts of Greystone Keep. Anton Duviditis, the Darkmere Shaman Glyph Keeper, raised his staff, glyphs flaring to life and warding the gates with spectral barriers. Churrodude, the Gnome Summoner, clapped excitedly as 3 magma hounds erupted from arcane portals. "They'll love this," he shouted, riding one like a pony. Calrock and Archbishops, both dwarf paladins, braced shields side by side. "Ain't no foul beast breaching our wall," Calrock growled. "Aye," Archbishops added, "unless they're taller than 30 feet and breathe fire." Eliv, the halfling rogue, vanished into the shadows with Dwimble, the gnome rogue, giggling as they laid traps along the battlements. "Watch their shins," Eliv whispered. "And their egos," Dwimble added. Ziplox, the Darkmere rogue, climbed a crumbling spire, crossbow aimed and ready. "First one through, the fog dies screaming," he muttered. Annoying Llama, the human monk, meditated atop the gatehouse. "Peace is a fortress of the mind," he breathed, then kicked an orc off the tower with one calm strike. Screech, the Scarbar, leapt onto the wall, loot blazing. "To war!" he howled, music shaking in the stone. The horde surged. The heroes stood. The castle would not fall.
This week in Visionary Realms News and Notes.
Hopefully you got the cat in there.
All right, VR news and notes. We got lots of exciting stuff this week. Well, kind of exciting stuff this week.
Yeah, no Joppa. It's tough. We're like scraping the bottom of the Discord barrel here.
It's been a little slow in the news front with no Joppa streaming. I would like to just give a shout out to Vindini, who has single-handedly been feeding us interesting Discord posts.
Saving our podcast one post at a time.
All the best Discord posts in the world. So yeah, if you like the rewind, make sure you give Vindini a thumbs up next time you see him.
Oh, I definitely will. Right up his ass.
All right. Well, let's talk about some Pantheon. First of all, we have a very interesting post about multiboxing. One very, very hot topic in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen.
And any MMO, right? Like, we have our own opinions on it. Everyone's going to have their own opinion on it. The problem is that the most necessary evil, unless you are World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV, there's no other MMO in this world that makes enough money to not say, well, if one person's willing to pay me 6 accounts worth of accounts, then I'm going to take it. Because, you know, they need money to operate this game. So, you know, obviously we've talked about me playing EverQuest 2 a lot. And that is honestly anyone that's on the Varsoon server now. If you don't have more than one account, or know someone that you play with regularly that has more than one account, you're probably not getting a group. And it's super inconvenient, especially with a game like EQ2 where they've gone away from, they've given you everything you need, right? Like there's a ton of instancing. You just go and do it. So like there's no more, you don't have to wait around anymore. You just get in with your people, your 1 or 2 people, you run your 6 accounts and you bot it up. And there, in places like EQ2, it's they've got bots ready to go for it, right? Like it literally plays the game for you. You click your one macro and it's a go. You don't, all you have to do is just wander around the zone and get the experience, and that's it. I get it. I'd like to play an MMO where people aren't boxing everywhere. We play EverQuest TLPs and TLEs, and that's all it is that. It's hard to get away from it. It's kind of the nature of the beast when you're playing a small MMO. If you're in the land of indie MMOs, you're probably going to run into some boxers. It is what it is there.
Well, Lymander, who created this video, will show you how to use your Steam account, use multiple Steam accounts, on the same computer even.
Really?
Yeah, so you don't even have to have, like, it's not TrueBox or anything like that. You can run, like,
it's full botting.
4 or 5 accounts on your one computer. If you got the horses to run it, you can just, like, keep loading instances and keep loading accounts on Steam, and you can just have your little Pantheon party, and you can just, away you go. Now, he only covers the way that you can actually make them run on your computer. He doesn't go into any of the software needed for, like, push one W key on your keyboard and all 5 of your people move forward at the same time.
The actual botting itself.
The actual botting itself, because that really gets into some shady stuff, right? Like, you're starting to, like, mess with the terms of service, and, like,
yeah.
You could possibly get the old commute for that at some point, maybe. I don't know. But I'm kind of with you, though. I don't think that they're big enough to turn that away.
You played Gorgon last week. Did you see any botters there?
No, is Gorgon? I don't
people know.
Bought Gorgon.
I'm not sure.
Gorgon's kind of a game where you don't need a group, right? That's the thing with Gorgon, is like,
that is true.
You're not designed to have a group, so it doesn't matter if you don't need to bot, because you don't need a group. Where the botting really hits is these old school MMOs that require you to have a group to complete content. And so these single player MMORPG players, they just want to get around that. Or even if they're not single player RPG players, just players that want to group but can't find a group because there's not enough people.
It's too bad that it's gotten to that point, but I mean, we're a small number already, and we're of the age that we're starting to keel over because we are so sediment all the time, sitting in our chairs playing our MMOs for 8 hours at a time. We're dying off. We're a dying breed. And how do you combat that? You buy another account. Bye, dead friend. Here's my new account.
Oh my goodness, that is so morbid. That's so awful. What the heck?
Well, it's a slow week, so we're getting real morbid up in here.
All right. Well, if you like that, you're gonna love this. One of the Discord posts suggests that we start subscriptions already, that we just need to kick on the subscriptions. We need to start charging so we can hire some more devs so we can get this game completed, because more subs is more money, and more money is always good.
Ooh, the root of all evil, my man. The root of all evil. I technically agree with this, but I don't feel like a full-on subscription is necessary. I do not want to pay $14.99 for this game. It is not worth it. I would never tell anybody to pay $14.99 a month for this game, because there are 5 zones and little content, and it's not a game. It's not a complete game. I'm not going to play a complete subscription for a complete game. But am I willing to pay $5 a month? Hell yeah. I think everyone that plays this game every day, or even once a week like us, or twice a week, is more than happy. Even on top of the $1,000 we paid, Draq, are you willing to pay $5 a month?
Yeah, I'd totally pay $5 a month. Here's the problem. This is the big problem. It's the same problem I have with early access. which is the more you ask of people, the more you ask people to kick in monetarily, the more expectations they're going to have. And right now,
Solid
like
point.
they're not meeting any expectations on really any level, which I get in development. There's times that you're not going to be meeting expectations, but I don't think we should start the subscription model when we don't really have anything to offer. Like that screams desperation. And maybe we are just that desperate, but I don't think it's a great look.
It may not be a great look, but it's certainly like they've squeezed us. They've squeezed us all dry as far as like what they can promise and what they can deliver by the time 1.0 launches. So it's like at this point, if there are 1,000 people that are willing to pay $5 a month, well, maybe that's another part-time person that we can get to help Kyle, or something along the lines of that. So, or even if those 30,000 people that are in Discord or however many people we got actively playing this game, there's just not a whole lot of options anymore. If there's not going to be any more huge influxes of money until 1.0, there's no way they are going to make it 2 more years, 3 more years on what they made.
Oof.
I mean, they're paying everyone slave wages. We need something. We need something to keep the coffers flowing. And if everyone would be willing to pay $5, I think that's something to think about.
I'm in for it. I'm in for a $5 subscription. I would not complain about that at all. If it would help it going forward, I would totally do it. Do you think enough people would do it? Or would that just make the servers even more of a ghost town? Would we see enough people that quit?
It's tough to say. I mean, it already is dying, right? Like it's not ever going to get back to that 6,000 or 7,000 concurrent on Steam again, right? It's a downhill from here until 1.0, right? The VIPs that were willing to pay $1,000, I think could pony up or willing to pony up. We see this all the time. This is not the first time that this has come up on the Discord. It certainly won't be the last, but it's a good idea, and I'm thankful that Pantheon doesn't want to do that. They don't want to milk their VIPs dry. But like, we've already paid a lot of money. I think $5 a month is not much. I mean, we pay that to us or any other streamer. Only this way, you're getting a ton more enjoyment out of it, and you're helping progress the game along. I don't know. Or maybe, I mean, they've also talked about, or this is not VR, this is people posting in Discord. They've also mentioned, like, just opening up giving again. If people want to donate.
What? We're going to go back to pledges? That's kind of going... You can't unding that bell, can you?
Well, you don't call it pledges. You call it a donation, right? Like it's something different. So you don't get anything for it. Nothing in game, no prizes or anything like this. This is just straight you donating money to VR. You just setting it on fire and
You
giving it to
just
them.
setting it... Oh, dude, I don't know if I'd even do that. That's brutal.
Yeah, I agree, but people have requested it. They've wanted them to open up the giving coffers again because people are happy to give money to them because they think they're doing a good job. Which,
just in case anyone's out there questioning this on any level, if you feel the need to give money to someone for no reason, Daimlos and I are here for you.
Yeah,
okay?
please.
Like, we are available to take your money for the rewind.
happy to do it.
And we will promote the heck out of Pantheon Rise of the Fallen while doing it. Well, that's pretty funny. You know what else is funny, Daimlos?
What?
That ogres run slower than all the other races.
I mean, they should run the same speed as like the short people. Like halflings, dwarves, and ogres should all run slower than everybody else.
Like because normally, right, it's like this optical illusion thing, right? Where it just seems like you're slower than all the other races because you don't take as many steps because you have bigger steps because you're an ogre. But in this case, ogres are actually slower. Like people have lined people up and tested it, and ogres are slower than marketably than any other race. And I think it's hilarious.
That's crazy. This is first off, how does it even get like that? Aren't you, when you run, isn't that like a set number? You push this button, you go this many spots. I mean, again, we're not developers or know how games work, but like, wouldn't that just be like a baseline stat? where pushing forward is this many feats.
Here's the other thing. I started thinking about it. Would you be opposed to this being a thing in the game? Like, what if all the races...
If I was an ogre, I certainly would be.
Yeah, right. But like, what if we did make an MMO where what if movement speed was one of the advantages for some of the other races? I think
it's not a bad idea.
I think this type of stuff is cool.
Yeah.
Like, why can't we have different races that move at different speeds? Like, if ogres...
But it wouldn't be ogres, right? They're tall. They have huge strides.
Right, but if ogres get no stun from the front, right? Like, if we're going back to the EQ example.
Sure.
Then why can't halflings be super fast?
I mean, I guess, but like, if we're talking about D&D, like, dwarves and halflings have 25-foot movement as opposed to humans and big races who get 30 plus. It's a little weird that the ogres are the ones that are slower. I mean, their animation should be slower because their stride is bigger, but they shouldn't be going any slower than anybody else can run. This is just off. Someone misclicked a number.
Yeah, I don't think this is intentional.
The decimal point's in the wrong spot.
The decimal point's definitely in the wrong spot. I definitely think it's an oversight, something I'm sure they'll fix. I just think it's hilarious that for now, ogres are slower.
Well, it's nice to know that, like, if you go into a dungeon, you always want an ogre because you know you'll always be able to outrun the ogre to get away.
I didn't even think of it that way. That's amazing. Yes.
So yeah, always recruit an ogre.
Ogre shaman, you're in. Elf cleric, you're out.
Problem is they're in the back, so you got to like get beyond that, and then.
Oh
you're safe.
no, I'm always in the back. That's not a problem for me.
Yeah. Well, just remind me to never be an ogre tank.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's going to be the worst. Your ogre tank is, you're not getting away from nothing.
It's good for everybody else.
You don't get away from anything anyway,
That's
so
true.
it doesn't matter.
I'm always the first to die. Well, that's not true. Vendini's usually the first to die, and then me.
Well, this is a little bit of a confusing post to me. So, Savanya wants to know your thoughts on potential server merges.
Let me give you my thoughts, Savanya. Don't touch Stormona. This name must stay above all other servers. I don't care if you merge Black Moon into another huge server. I need to make sure that the name Stormona is what sticks. You can even merge... Okay, I shouldn't even say this. You can even merge Black Moon into Stormona as long as you keep the name Stormona. I shouldn't say that. That's bad juju. I don't want to put that out there, but
let's not do that.
Yeah.
I vote against that plan.
Fair. I kind of vote against it too, but as long as the name Stormona stays, you merge whatever the hell else you want to.
I thought this was super interesting because it says potential server merges. Like, they haven't decided if they want a server merge yet.
I'm sure there's a lot of silent backlash. I mean, there's the loud minority that wants this server merger, but there's plenty of people like us, Draq, that don't want it. That want to hop onto their low population server with their static group and play it. Like the VIPs, like we used to do in the olden days. You know, at this point, we all have our statics and we have a guild. And those are really the only people we want to play with because it's the only people we trust. And then there's that. So...
Dude, you think it's then now. You should have seen how thin it was in some of these testing weeks. Like, it was some thin sauce.
Wait, what do you mean testing weeks? Like in the past?
Yeah, in the past. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. When there was not a lot of stuff going on, kind of like there is now.
Dude,
it just gets thin.
We had Throne Fast for 5 freaking years, and it's just like, what are you gonna do? Like,
we're gonna go to the spider cave, and then we're gonna go get the goblins, and then we're gonna go to shore side or seaside, whatever the hell we call it. You know, hit up some Gadai camps, and then graveyard, and then we're done.
For the next 25 freaking years.
Yeah, we've hit all the spots, and now we're good. I don't think that there's enough people playing to keep this many servers open. Also, if these servers are costing money, which they are, and people are not, and we're only like a quarter populated of the max, yeah, I mean, servers need to go. It's more of a we need to save money situation, not necessarily what's good or
most
bad
comfortable.
For that. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I just don't understand how this decision has been made yet. Like, how...
Come on, Draq. Come on, Draq. You know how these decisions are made.
I keep falling into the same pit over and over and over again. I'm like, how is it possible that they haven't just made the decision on this yet? And like that we don't have a date that says May 2nd or May 15th. Server merges. This is happening. Boom, 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 boom. Like, how is that possible?
Because we keep throwing darts at the dartboard, at the decision-making dartboard, and it keeps saying, try again in a month. Or it's the decision magic 8-ball. Shall we merge servers? Answer unknown.
Maybe.
Possibly?
Yeah, exactly.
There's never a definitive yes or no. And that's just kind of how it is. And I think after 5 to 10 years, however long we've all been following this in our own time, we're all kind of used to this at this point. Like, we'd like to think that they could just make an action and see it through. But like, they've been burned so many times by not just us, but like everybody in the community. Like you said last week, they're so afraid of backlash or, getting snapped at. They want to make sure they're doing the right thing the first time because they don't want to go back. They don't have the capacity to do it again. They can't do things a second time because there's just not enough hands to make that work happen. They have to sit on it and table and table and table and finally make a decision way too late. And by the time it's way too late, well, it's way too late.
Yikes.
It's not good. It just goes to show that they need more money to hire more people so that these jobs can be delegated. There was a Discord post either last week or a couple weeks ago that someone was fanning them, like fanning the flames hard, that whoever was the project manager is not good at their job. And Savani had to clap back at him and saying, no, that's not true. He is good at his job. The problem is he's doing 7 jobs worth of jobs. And project management takes a little bit of a backseat because...
Which means he's not actually a project manager.
Right.
That's the problem.
That's his title, but he's basically the punching bag at this point.
Yeah, he's the guy they call in to punch.
Yep. So that's too bad, but this is why we need to go back and pay $5 a month. If you want to play this game and keep it going.
The only jobs we need to hire for is jobs that free up Rob's time. That's my new mission.
And
that's
Kyle's. Rob and Kyle.
Yeah, if it doesn't free up Rob and or Kyle, then we don't need it. Like, that's what we should be moving forward with.
This is why I don't think JN's back. We haven't heard from him. We haven't heard, we got Ronik back. But this is why I don't think we have JN back, because he's too much money, or Ronik is just filling that job. Like, or maybe he feels like he's done with his part of the lore and it's all been fleshed out. It just needs to be worked. But for sure that we haven't heard anything from him in such a long time that it screams like there needs to be more people that free up Rob and Kyle. That literally is it. And maybe Joppa.
I agree with you 100%. Well, you know who else we haven't heard for in quite a while?
Sweet Joppa. Where are you at, Sweet Joppa?
As one of my favorite songs says, where in the world is Joppa San Diego?
Where could he be?
Listen, I have the tiniest of beans that I can't divulge any actual information.
Then why would you say have beans?
Mostly, well, I'm going to say it's just something a little bit tiny. Okay. So I can't divulge any information where I got it or anything. Just like I've been assured that everything's okay and he will be back. And we just have to be a little patient.
Okay. No wellness checks then?
Nope, we're good. He's still around. Everything's good. He just needs a little time. That's it.
All right. That's fine. I mean, we all need a little time. I could use some time.
After 2 weeks of no Joppa, no word, no communication, you're a little worried, right? Because you're like,
well, absolutely.
This is an indie operation. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going on? You know.
I mean, he said he'd be back Monday, and that was 2 Mondays ago. So
Dude, I have people sending me tells like, "What's up with Jabba? Where's he at?" And I'm like, "I don't work for VR. I don't know."
Draq, don't you work for VR? Don't you run a VR podcast?
I know what all the YouTube comments say, but it is not true. I don't actually.
I'm pretty sure you're a developer for VR, right?
I take abuse like I'm a developer for
you
VR.
do.
Let me tell you about that.
Mostly from me.
Mostly from you.
From the SGL Action News Desk, this is MMO News, featuring your anchors, Draq and Daimlos.
All right, Daimlos, this week we have an MMO that you are still kind of getting warm to.
I don't want to play Timothy Chalamet, the MMORPG, okay? I can't be Willy Wonka, so why would I want to play Dune?
I mean, why don't you just make a character called Willy Wonka in the Dune MMO, and we will call this thing done.
Do you think that they have the same issue of naming like Pantheon does?
I don't care. I definitely think you should try it.
Have my backup character named Timothy Chalamet as well? I'm sure that's the first name that's going to get
there's
taken.
There's no way that name's available, but you might get Willy Wonka. You might get that one. But the question that I would like to answer for this week is Dune Awakening an MMO?
I mean, isn't it a survival game?
It is a survival game, but is it also an MMO?
I would say no, because survival game is its own genre. Just because it's multiplayer doesn't mean it's an MMO.
I think you're right. I think that it's not an MMO. There's a lot of not MMO stuff here, starting with no Trinity, moving on to really like, there's not a lot of focus on group content. There's no world bosses. There's no raids.
Why are you excited about this game? It's terrible. You're literally naming everything that makes me not want to play the game.
Listen, we got two things. We got here. Are you ready for the MMO pieces?
Okay. Yep. Hit me up.
We got guilds.
Okay.
Okay. And we have an auction house.
Well, you've just sold me. Auction house, I'm in.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
No, come on.
We can gather an auction house. Daimlos, we can get the band back together.
We could do this and take over the auction house. I could be down for that. Timothy Chalamet, the vendor.
This is gonna be amazing. There is one slight drawback.
Okay.
Part of the game. So you can play all PvE. They've said that you can be PvE. You don't have to go be PvP. But the game kind of seems to me like it's kind of PvP focused. And to get the spice, I don't know how much you know about Dune, but spice is like the best thing. Yeah, it's the drug. It's the best thing to have. It's what you want. It gets you all the money. You have to go basically to the PvP area to get the spice. So the idea being is that when you're mining the spice in the PvP area, at any moment you can get sandwormed or some other group can jump you while you're mining the spice.
And take all my spice? Don't take my spice!
I got a little cinnamon. I got a little steak spice. Like
some Lowry's.
Little Lowry's. Yes. Yes.
Got my curry and my Lowry's. We're good to go.
Dude, I use Lowry's on every hamburger that I ever grill every summer.
Oh, is this about to turn into a spice podcast?
Top 5 spices. No, seriously.
Oh, what were we thinking? We should have... Why were we not thinking top 5 spices? That'd have been perfect.
Yeah, man. I've got like the big, like the Costco sized Lowry container.
I don't blame you. Lowry's is the best.
Dude, it is the best. Number one.
I have found another... well, let's not talk about this.
We're going way down the spice.
I'll just send you a link to my new spice that I love on all my... literally every meat I cook now, I use this. This is new Lowry's for me.
Just know, everyone, that when we play Dune Awakening and we're mining spice, in our minds, it's going to be Lowry's seasoned salt.
Honorable mention to Old Bay. I love you, Old Bay. You're the best seafood spice ever.
There you go. So it's kind of... Also, there's some other things about it that don't really scream MMO.
The rest of the game.
In the PvE part of the game, you can really only have 40 to 50 players on one server
At a time.
at a time.
And it's
Correct.
random.
No, your home base stays how it is.
So if you like get on the server with Vicious, you're fucked.
No,
I don't know if I like that.
No, because you choose. It's not like you're not thinking of it kind of the way I understand it is you have like a home base, kind of like mine's a Moria, right?
So you have to bring 50 of your best friends?
You can join up to 50 of your best friends in the PvE area.
Oof. Oh, and the PvP is anybody?
The PvP is up to like 200 to 300 people.
From any server?
From any, yeah, everything is any server. You're not stuck on any server whatsoever. You can join any PvE server you want, up to 50 people.
Does your stuff, but your stuff comes with you?
Your stuff comes with you, yep.
Interesting. This is
Yeah.
a very weird game.
It's going to be super weird.
Dune is such a... I shouldn't judge because I've not seen the new ones. I've only seen the old ones.
Oh, you haven't seen the new ones yet?
I know.
The new ones are so good, man.
This is what I hear.
I don't like the old ones at all. Like
The old one was so unbelievably bad and boring.
It was so boring.
Ugh.
So boring. Dude, you gotta at least try the new ones. And you gotta try it before this game comes out, because it'll get you psyched up to play this game.
I do love the Shamalama Ding Dong.
Dude,
he is such a good actor.
The new movies are so good, and he does such a great job. Watch the Dune movies.
Eat some Old Bay and some Lowry's.
Eat some Old Bay and some Lowry's. They're really good. And you need to get excited about this, because this is going to be our summer fling MMO.
It's not an MMO. Stop calling it that.
It's just for the summer.
It's our summer survival.
We just close our eyes and we just go with it, because she's hot and we know it's going to end.
Hot survival summer.
5,
Draq, I'm so disappointed in you.
4,
Luckily, every week I dominate this list and just destroy Dimos.
3,
I thought you would just tuck your head between,
No
your butt
way!
cheeks.
No, my list is
And
amazing.
It's not at all.
2,
Oh, already your list is the worst. Your list is the worst.
1.
All right, top five. This week, another great top 5. I feel like you stole this from our blog. I feel like we
Did you go look? Did you even go look?
No, I looked at your list, but the blogs, I took the website down. The blog's not up anymore. They're gone.
Oh, I think you're mixing this up in your brain with the top 5 breakfast consumables.
No. I'm sure we've argued about donuts. I'm pretty sure it was on the blog. We've done top 5 donuts before, but we haven't done it on the Rewind, and we haven't done the Raiders donuts, and I am excited to kick your butt a second time.
There's no way on any chance that you beat me with this, so it's fine. First off, donuts. Donuts are about to be spicy. Donuts are as spicy as pizza toppings were. Like, everyone has their own preference, and it's going to get real spicy up in here.
It's going to get super spicy, because
That's the best part of these food ones.
The raid chat was a flaming on some donut picks here.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the other thing I like about donuts, and I don't know if you timed this like this or not, but donuts for me is always an Easter thing.
Really?
Yeah, we always get donuts on Easter. And that's one of the few. I'm not a donut guy. I don't get donuts throughout the year.
Oh, I am definitely a donut guy. That's why I'm such a fat ass.
But every year Easter, there's definitely donuts is part of the tradition.
I like that.
We do donuts every year on Easter. So,
well, you're welcome. What can I say?
love some donuts. All right, so let's get to this. My winning list and your terrible list.
Yeah, hit me with your number 5, Draq.
My number 5 is, of course, a Krispy Kreme glazed donut. Now, if you don't know, if you don't want to go through the drive-thru at Krispy Kreme, because what happens is you go into the store, and as you're waiting in line, they'll bring free donuts through the line. And so you consume 2 or 3 donuts by the time you get to make your order. And then the donuts that you order then can be consumed at a later time. Like, that's the super secret right there.
But why would you consume them at the later time? The only time, and there's only several times in the day where you can go into a Krispy Kreme, is when that sign is lit up where it says hot and fresh. There is no donut better than a freshly glazed Krispy Kreme donut right out of the little machine that makes them donuts.
Yeah, you got to go first thing in the morning, really, to get the best donuts, 100%.
I mean, they make them throughout the day too. So as long as they're hot and fresh, they melt in your mouth. There's nothing better than a Krispy Kreme donut. But the problem is that about 10 minutes after it's done, it's like McDonald's fries. You let it get cold, and they're okay. They're still McDonald's fries and good, but they're definitely not anywhere close to as good as when they were hot and fresh right in the store. Sometimes I will just drive through that and they'll not even make it home. Like I'll get like a 6-pack and they'll just slide down your throat so well that they don't even make it to the next day or even later that night. All 6 are gone.
Dimos' Krispy Kreme's donuts don't even make it a block and a half. It's
No.
just-
Well, they just melt in your mouth, right? Like it's like you're eating cotton candy. It's like you've eaten nothing, and by the time you're done with the whole box, you don't even know it because it's like you've chewed nothing.
You're like licking the glaze out of the box. If you've done
hell
that,
yes.
you just
Of course I have.
You just got your finger in there and you're just like dragging it along the bottom,
good.
trying to get whatever's left.
I need another hit. I need another Krispy Kreme hit. Yeah.
I'm going back. I'm getting another one.
That hot and fresh. Anytime that sign is on, like if I see it, I'm stopping. There's no doubt in my mind. The problem is that the only Krispy Kreme that in Omaha that is a storefront is like on the complete opposite side of where I live on Omaha. Like it would take me a solid half hour to get there. So like if I'm ever in that area and that sign is on, it's a go. Like there's nothing that's going to stop me from wasting the next 30 minutes of my life and the next 3 pounds of my life to getting a 6-pack of hot and fresh Krispy Kreme glaze. They're the best. Every single other donut, I need to make sure to mention this too. Every single other Krispy Kreme donut is absolute vomit. It's way too sweet, way too gross, absolutely disgusting. The only Krispy Kreme donut that is acceptable is the glazed and preferably hot. I will eat them cold.
I do like the glazed, I think, the best. I can deal with the other
I can't
ones,
stomach any other donut, and I love donuts. They're just way too sweet. Like they go way overboard on the sugar.
They are pretty sweet. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. All right, look, we can't spend the whole top 5 talking about
How
my
is this
top
not
5.
number 1?
I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if it makes your list, so I don't even know what
Spoiler
you're giving.
alert.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're giving me a hard time.
The problem
for.
is that there's this 10-minute window. That's why it's not number 1. You can only enjoy it. A number 1 should be
all I
able
have
to
to
get
say
over.
is I win this week just on the amount of time that we spent on my
fair.
number 5.
Yeah. My number 5, on the other hand, is the other donut brand, Dunkin' Donuts. If you know what a munchkin is, this is a type of donut hole. The difference is that these munchkins are jelly filled. So it's like think of it like a jelly filled popper donut, and they're wonderful. Dunkin' Donuts are good to begin with, but these little munchkins are absolutely superb and perfect little bite-sized breakfast donuts.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm not really a Dunkin' Donut person. They're kind of enemy, so.
Yeah, and I know that a donut hole is not necessarily a donut, but it's the hole of a donut, or it's the filling of a donut, so I think it still counts.
Munchkins are better than regular donut holes. I'll give you that, but it's still kind of just a donut hole, and I'm pretty donut holes.
I don't know how that could possibly. It's literally the same thing.
It's the
just
leftovers.
bite-sized.
No, it's like we took all the good stuff, we put it in the donut, and then this is the leftovers.
It's literally the middle. It's the best part of the donut.
No, it's not.
Okay, well, I think we're probably going to disagree on this one, but we'll see. I may have to call you out on it later, depending on your list. Speaking of the rest of your list, what do you got for number 4?
I like a good old-fashioned donut, but I like chocolate. So a chocolate old-fashioned donut. That is a super solid number 4. Just kind of, just I don't eat old-fashions like I eat glazed. Like glazed, I just grab and I'm just like grabbing it and then I'm just eating it till I'm done. Old-fashions, I kind of pick apart and put the pieces into my mouth.
Okay, hold on. An old fashioned is an adult beverage. It's not a donut. So is this what consists of a quote unquote Draq old fashioned donut? Describe, is it a chocolate cake donut? Is it
Yeah, chocolate cakey donut. Old-fashioned donut. I'm looking at it on Google right now. The old-fashioned donut is a term used for a variety of cake donuts prepared in the shape of a ring with a cracked surface and tapered edges. I don't know what you're talking about. This is standard donut language. Do you not know anything about
Clearly,
donuts?
I know nothing about donuts because I have never heard
I guarantee
something called
you-
an old fashioned.
I guarantee you, go to your donut shop next time and order
Ask for an old fashioned.
and ask for an old-fashioned. I guarantee you they're going to hand you a cake donut.
Okay. I mean, here it is, old fashioned.
Dude, I'm just crushing you this week. Like
These are great donuts, though.
This is not even fair. Like you're not even in my
Shut up.
ballpark
Just
league
get
this
out.
week.
Get out of here. No, I like the. Okay, so this type of donut. Okay, I like the sour cream ones. I like. Yeah, this is a solid donut, Drac. So, but also an old fashioned is an adult beverage. It's not a donut. 99% of America would say that this is an adult beverage.
Your chat is blowing you up right now.
Absolutely, they're not.
It's so embarrassing. I can't.
I guarantee everyone in chat right now is like, it's an adult
I have
beverage.
my hand over my eyes for you because I can't. My face is turning red. That's how bad this is.
Oh, whatever.
But
Get
let's
out.
go back to the minor leagues and let's get your number 4.
My number 4 is the Cruller. And this is like a French style donut. It's very light and puffy and airy. And it's I can't even really describe it other than that. It's very specifically shaped. Almost like pinwheel-esque. Everyone knows what a cruller is. I don't need to describe it, but this is another one of my favorite types of donuts. I just love crullers. Like the hot glazed donuts could just consume an entire 6 or 12 pack of these very quickly because it's just like eating nothing. Like it's like eating cotton candy again, where you're just slurping them down and you don't feel any sort of fullness because they're so light and airy and fluffy. Ever had a cruller, Drac?
Oh yeah, this is my wife's favorite donut. This would be
She's smart.
If we
Other
had
than who she married.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I kind of tricked her into
Yeah,
that one.
I'm well
but
aware.
that's a whole other story for another day. But if I had an honorable mention list, which I don't, because I actually, admire the sanctity of the top 5 list.
Shut up.
Cruller would be on it.
You're so ridiculous. All right, fine. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is a Boston cream.
Oh, yeah.
I just love just a Boston cream donut. Just the cream in the middle, little top chocolate frosting on the top, solid donut. Bam, just good. And I liked filled donuts. Like there's some of my favorite donuts. I like to have something, a third element, the creamy
as well. Yeah.
element to my donut.
I'm right there with you. Yep. Boston cream. This is one of my all-time favorites. We talked about the Four-Side Breakfast Consumables top 5. There was the toaster strudels for a little while before they changed into the donut style. They were actual strudels and way better. But also like those little like Tasty Cake or different brands like Little Debbie. They have those little pies, those little like pocket pies, kind of look like the McDonald's hot apple pies.
Oh yeah.
Every time I see the Boston cream pie of those things, I just, 10 for $10? I'll take 20. Yeah, Boston cream is wonderful.
It's for the family. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you sure do like your Boston cream. My whole family loves Boston cream. Shut up.
Oh, just a couple of fat kids in a big grocery mart.
I love donuts so much. I could just gush about donuts all day. There isn't a donut. Well, there isn't one donut that I won't eat, and we'll get to that soon because I'm looking at a certain Patreon's list that I'm just going to blast. But Yeah.
Well, speaking of donuts that I won't eat, how about your number 3?
I love me a chocolate cake donut with chocolate ice cream and peanuts on top of it. That's just a blessing in your mouth. Completely opposite from the donuts I usually like because cake donuts are so heavy and just you can only eat like one, maybe one and a half at most. But that's one of my all-time favorites of those chocolate cake donuts with chocolate icing. I can have other types of icing. It can be like a vanilla or a strawberry icing. That doesn't bother me. But the chocolate cake, that's where it's at.
Isn't this a KFC dessert? Didn't I see something like that where you go to KFC, you order some kind of chocolate donut with some nuts on it? I'm pretty sure that was a
Don't
thing.
think so.
Yeah, I think your favorite donut is like a fast food chicken place's dessert. I think that's what.
Are you thinking of like lava cakes?
I don't know. Maybe
I think
the
you
lava
are.
cakes have nuts on them. I don't know.
No.
All I know is this is horrible. We shouldn't. We first of all, we don't put nuts in desserts. Gross.
You're so ridiculous.
No nuts in desserts. Get it out.
You said you like that third element. This is the third element.
No.
You got the cake, you got the icing, and then you got the crunch with the
The
nut.
third element is not nuts, and the fifth element is love. And that is all there is to say about that, okay? Like,
Okay.
the discussion is over.
Okay, Drac.
Okay.
Everybody else but you loves nuts, other than people who are allergic to them because they die from them. But that's besides the point. Anyway, let's move on. What's your number 2?
You know me, man. Like, I'm the guy that put down chocolate and vanilla for his favorite ice creams. And so I'm a simple guy with simple taste. So I just like your regular old chocolate frosted donut. Like, I just think that's pure perfection. Just some
Listen,
chocolate
no one's turning this away. This
and
is a great donut.
Yeah, it's solid every time.
Yep.
And it's super reliable.
Yeah.
Like, you go over and some dude got donuts from a very questionable donut shop, and you're like, I don't know about those donuts. But you see chocolate frosted donut, you're like, they can't ruin that. And usually they can't. Some of those other weird donuts that they have, they absolutely destroy. But chocolate frosted, super, super safe and super good.
Yep. Can't go wrong. It's like the McDonald's of donuts, right? Like, you know, when you pull up to a McDonald's, you know what you're going to get every time. Same sort of deal. You can't mess up a chocolate donut, just a normal chocolate donut, because everyone likes chocolate icing and everyone likes fried dough. So it's like, unless you burn it or mix the frosting wrong, you know, you forget to put sugar in the frosting, right? Like, you're good. You're good to go. So solid choice. Definitely. I don't know about number 2 because of its so, you know, plain Jane-ness of it, but like, solid donut. Definitely a good donut. if that's in the box and my other choices look a little sus, you know, because
Like your other choices have nuts?
no, like is there like lemon filling in this donut?
Oh no, that's the worst.
Yeah.
When you get lemon filling
Yeah.
in the door and you thought it was cream,
Oh,
or you
I'm not
thought
playing
it was,
that game.
or
I'm
yeah.
never playing that game.
It's
Never.
So bad.
If
You're
I
like,
can't tell what's in it from the back side, you know how you can see where they injected the cream?
oh my goodness.
If I see
it's
any,
the worst.
yeah. If I can't see what was injected into this donut, I'm not doing. I'll just go straight for the chocolate donut. That's totally fine.
Like the absolute worst is when you think it's strawberry or raspberry and then you realize it's lemon. And then you're in a situation where you can't take 2 donuts, you only get one, and that's the one you chose, and then you just regret your life for the rest of the day. Number 1 donut of all time is, of course, a raspberry jelly-filled donut. And I'm glad that you brought up the lemon donuts because not all jam-filled donuts are the same and not all flavors are the same. And as you said, there's lots of traps out there. There's lots of awful fillings that people put in donuts that should never happen. And lemon is at the top of the freaking list. Like, I don't ever want your lemon-filled donut. Get it out. But yeah, I had a dark chocolate filled one time. I thought it was like, I didn't like it. It wasn't good. But it could have just been the donut maker too. Either way, you take your life in your hands if you don't know what is filled in that donut. Also, just like if there's any question at all, then you just go straight back to the Boston cream or the chocolate frosted. Like, don't play with that because you do not want to be stuck with that lemon filled jam donut. Like, it's going to ruin your day. It's going to ruin your day. Well, what about your number one?
My number one, sir, very similar to the Boston cream, is the Bavarian cream donut. And okay, so you're like, well, what's the difference? They taste the same. That's not true. Though they are both custard-based fillings, the key difference lies in the thickening agent. Boston cream uses cornstarch, which makes it more thick, pudding-like texture, whereas Bavarian cream uses gelatin and whipped cream, creating a lighter mousse-like texture. So both great. I love both of them very much, but I do like the mousse-esque texture, the lighter cream sort of filling for my donut. So I prefer the Bavarian over the Boston cream, but both are winners. It's almost like a 1A, 1B situation for me.
No, it's one.
God, what do you mean no?
No, the soupy. It's just runny. It's
what?
like, yeah,
it's mousse.
It's no.
You're ridiculous.
No, Boston cream.
You're
Bavarian,
ridiculous.
I'm sad if I get Bavarian. Like, I'm like, oh crap, they could have done better, but they didn't. So I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, no,
you're so ridiculous.
No, get it out.
Whatever.
Get it out.
Bavarian is the best.
No.
I love Bavarian.
No.
I also love Boston cream.
Well, I also thrashed you this week. Like, it wasn't even
You definitely
close.
did not.
I dominated you. I corrected you. I educated you. Like,
I know.
I'm basically set up as the professor of donuts and gave you a lecture, and then I gave you a D on your.
Let's
final
be
paper.
honest. I'm the editor, so I'm cutting out all that old-fashioned bullshit. And really, your number one is my number 5, jelly-filled donuts. So,
Whatever. No.
yeah.
I'm sorry you don't understand what good donuts
I'm sorry
are.
you don't understand Bavarian. Like, clearly you are not a donut connoisseur if you don't understand Bavarian.
All right.
The subtle, gentle deliciousness between the Boston cream and the Bavarian cream.
Well, you know who else doesn't understand donuts is some of our rewind raid Patreons.
We absolutely got to get to these Patreon members. Draq, hit the sound.
Biddly-doo, biddly-doo, biddly-doo.
Okay, so once again, we just have to go right to it. The worst of the worst. Once again, last place, Dwimble. What are you doing here? First, his number 5 is Long John's, and he specifically said no cream. So what does that mean? He's eating a Long John with nothing inside it?
I've never even seen a Long John without cream. I didn't even know they existed, but apparently
They do exist.
There's barely some Texas variant that's served only in Texas with
No, we
cream
get them in
your
Nebraska too. It's just the long style donut with nothing inside it. It's super boring, like Dwimble.
Yeah, it's like what? A frosted donut that's super dry with some nuts on it? Like,
There's no nut. Well, sometimes there are nuts, but yeah, it's just a different shape of what should be a round donut. It's the donuts for the fat kids that want a donut and a half with only taking one donut.
I'm starting to understand the appeal for Dwimble. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But then his number 4 is just donut holes. So
Yeah, this is 50 DKP minus right here.
we've started out pretty weak. I know that my number 5 was donut holes, but it was specifically Dunkin' Donuts munchkins with jelly filling in them. So this could be any type of donut hole. Now there are some donut holes that I like, but they're just fun donuts, right? They're just poppable donuts.
It's the extra that you get when you're bored or whatever. It's not top 5 material.
It can be when we're specifically talking about munchkins, but I would just rather have the donut than the donut hole, right? Like, the only reason I like the munchkins so much is because it's a specific thing. Donut holes, any other type of donut hole I can have, are just smaller donuts. And when your number 5 is bigger regular donuts and your number 4 is smaller regular donuts, your list is terrible. Like, there's nothing specific about this. This is just generic big donut, small donut. Like, we should have just put that on there, and that was your number 5 and your number 4, Dwimble. You stupid. Anyway, number 3 is chocolate with sprinkles. What kind of chocolate? Is it a chocolate cake donut? Is it the chocolate icing that's the normal donut that was your number 2, just with sprinkles on it? I thought we were being more specific, but instead we've got big donut, small donut, sprinkle donut.
And I'm imagining this donut with pink sprinkles because
No,
he's
probably.
like,
He loves his
man
little
up,
Debbies.
man up, brother. Like, why are you having sprinkles on your donuts? Like, the donut should be good enough to have without sprinkles. Sprinkles is what you put on a donut when they're not very good and you're trying to cover it up.
Yeah, I mean they sell, right? They're visually appealing. They certainly add nothing. They're not sugary. They don't add any flavor to the donut. They're just there for funsies. Like you might as well instead of put nuts on it because then you get some like protein and some saltiness with the sweetness. But instead you're just putting non-flavored red food dye
Pink
in your,
sprinkles.
yeah, in your body, and it's not good. Like there's nothing that makes the donut better with sprinkles other than maybe it increases your mood, the positivity of your mood. But the donut's already doing that for me, so I don't need the sprinkles.
Yeah, it's super weak.
This is just already 5, 4, and 3 are absolutely terrible, and we just run into another terrible bear claw. Is a bear claw even a donut? I don't think it is.
We're back to big donut.
Yeah, right? Like we got big donut, we got small donut, we got visually appealing donut, and we got deformed donut. This is the worst list. Clearly you put no thought into this. Sorry, I only gave you 8 hours to come up with this list, but this is pathetic. This is just the most pathetic. And then last but not least on his list, fresh glazed. Is he talking about Krispy Kreme? Because any other fresh glazed donut is not a number one.
And to make it all worse, he had the gall in the raid chat to say, one, that he absolutely won this week, which you absolutely did not.
And never. Your last place for the 3rd week in a row.
And 2, that all filled donuts, not jelly filled, not custard filled, not lemon filled, all filled donuts were the worst. That's what he said. Like, I can't let that stand. I can't let that. I have to call that out.
I don't know how he even eats a donut. So let's recap this, Drag. Let's just recap this. We got big donut, we got small donut, we got visually appealing donut, we got deformed donut, and then we got donut.
Regular donut.
This is like your ice cream list, Drag. It's terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. It's the same thing basically 5 times over. It's stupid. Anyway, Dwimble, I'm done looking at your list because it pisses me off so much. Let's move on to, let's go with Screech next. So his number 5 is my number 1, so Bavarian. And his number 4 is your number 1, which is jelly. We don't call lemon jelly. That's not lemon. So it has to be either raspberry or strawberry jelly filled donuts. So
that's fair. Okay,
yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah. So that's good. Then we got chocolate glazed with sprinkles. So, pretty standard. Again, with the visual appealing is a little weird. And then frosted with sprinkles is his number 2. And so we're kind of getting a little weird. We've pulled away from really great donut. And now we're just like, why are we eating these donuts? There's nothing other than visual appealing to these donuts. Yeah, anyway. And then plain glazed again. Is it Krispy Kreme? It has to be Krispy Kreme, right? Like, because I've eaten glazed donuts from like everywhere, and none of them even come close to Krispy Kreme. And usually,
as far as we know, he's talking about Safeway glazed donuts,
exactly,
which
I'm never eating.
The barrel.
That's
like,
yeah,
I'm not touching those for anything.
I'm not going to any other place and getting a glazed. I'm not going to Dunkin' to get a glazed donut ever. There will never be a glazed donut in my Dunkin' donut box. The only place is Krispy Kreme. End of list. That's the only time I'm getting a glaze. The only other time I'm eating a glazed donut is when it's like the sample donut at the grocery store, right? Like I'm walking by the bakery. Oh, look, free donut samples. Yep. Okay, glazed. Great. Totally fine. That's the only other time it's acceptable other than Krispy Kreme hot and fresh. You start as strong, Screech, but then you just kind of shit the bed. So we're going to let that go. We'll move on to Archbishop's. Apple fritter. I like apple fritters. If I were to have an honorable mention this week, and Draq, I'd like to mention that I didn't have an honorable mention. But if I were to have one, you also just said that if you were to have one, you would have had this. So if I were to have one, it would be an apple fritter, but I don't have one. So it's there. It's on Archbishop's list. So strong start. Number 4, plain cake. I I would prefer to have some sort of icing or some sort of like.
Also, maybe he's getting it an old fashioned here. Maybe he just doesn't know it's an old fashioned like you.
Could be.
He
Could
doesn't
be.
understand donut lore like I do.
Well, only you understand the donut lore. So, but then Archbishops.
Wait, no, his number 3 is an old fashioned. What the heck?
Oh, well, there you go. But this is the worst flavor on the planet. Maple old fashioned, get out. This list is unacceptable. You have clearly been sponsored by Big Maple. I throw your list out. The only reason Dwimble is not last place is because you've put this on your list, and now you are last place because it's like disqualified. You don't even get like you ran the race, but you cheated, and you just get a disqualification, no score. So we're just gonna look at your number 2 and your number 1, which are jelly filled at number 2.
Hold on. I got some things to say about Maple.
Oh,
because
well, please.
When you get the dozen donuts, right, and you bring it into work, and you set the donuts on the table,
I know where you're going with this, and
everybody's like, and you're like, take a donut. I don't care what you take, just take your favorite donut. You know what the last donut in that box is, don't you, Diamond?
Of course I do. And you also know the donuts around the maple donut are never, even if your favorite donut is sat next to the maple donut, it is now, it's like our Halloween candy one.
If it touches
it's
the maple
the York
donut,
peppermint patty of chocolate.
Yes, it is. 100%.
If your shitty maple donut has touched my Bavarian cream donut, I'm not touching that Bavarian cream donut.
Get your maple donut cooties off of my jelly-filled donut, okay? Just get them off.
And you know me, I'm going one step further. I'm not touching any donut in that box. If there's one maple donut in the whole box, I'm not even coming near it.
I can't go that far. I do the I split the box in half, and then I choose from the half that's not on the side with the maple donut, and you're kind of safe there.
For my former corporations that I've worked at that have done donut days or had some sort of donut bringing in, they all know better, and they will bring in maple donuts because there are people that like maple donuts and they're all stupid, but they would bring it in a separate bag. So the maple goes in the bag and the other 11 donuts of the dozen go in the box.
I love it.
Yep. They know better. They know amazing. That I will have bitched long enough that they don't want to hear it. And they will just make sure that the maple donut goes in the bag specifically and never touches the other donuts.
You just remember, people out there in internet land, you just, next time you're at a place and there's donuts, you just watch that box and you remember which donut is last. Because Draq and Daimlos have called it. We know exactly which donut was last.
People will eat, you got those people in your office that will take half a donut. They'll like cut it in half. I just want a half donut.
They're just garnering up the half donuts before the maple donuts.
People will absolutely take the half donut before they will take a full maple donut. It's unbelievably gross. I still can't believe that this made a top 5. I'm just so done with your list, Archbishops. We're just gonna breeze by number 2 and number 1, which is our number 1's. Draq is his number 2 is jelly filled and my number 1 custard filled.
Yeah.
Like sorry. Yeah, sorry. You had a strong start and you had a strong finish, but you absolutely disqualified yourself by that number 3 maple old fashioned bullshit. Get out. Forget it. Dwimble, you're still last. Dwimble, you had the worst list, but Archbishops, you are disqualified from the list. Somehow you still beat Dwimble, who had the worst list. So, but then I am redeemed by Ziplocs, our hero. Coming in hot. While we're recording this actual episode.
He is the hero we deserve.
Really. He is. Truly. Number 5, cake donut, great. 4, jelly, great. We've talked ad nauseum. Number 3, plain glazed. Okay, again, this has to be Krispy Kreme. Because no one just eats plain glazed. No one's buying just glazed donuts. It's not a thing. So we're just gonna glaze over it.
We're gonna assume. No, we're gonna assume this is Krispy Kreme. That's what we're gonna do.
I'm honestly fine with that because that's how I have to get through my head to make this list work. But then number 2, apple fritter, which was technically my not honorable mention. But then the number 1 choice, Zip. This choice has made you the winner of this week. And Draq and I both agreed when we saw this pop up that our lists are going to take a backseat to yours this week, Zip. Number 1, free donut.
Free
He's right.
donuts are
There's
the best.
no better donut than a free donut. So, Zip, congratulations. You are the outright winner of even the hosts of the donut top 5. Congratulations, Zip.
We are the champions, my friend.
Love you, Zip. Good job.
Free donuts, FTW.
Word.
Before you leave, we've one final word. Before you've forgotten all that you've heard, there is a moment evergreen. Stay here a while and listen to me.
Divels, we've come to the end. I'm not ready for the end. I actually laughed so hard on the top 5 that I'm crying a little bit.
I'm glad. This is a good one.
It's so good.
Anytime we discuss food, right? Like it gets spicy because we all have our specific tastes. That's what I like about it. I try to not do food ones all the time because I know they're going to be the most entertaining, but like you can't just, we'd run out, right? Like there's only so many foods to go around and we've got hopefully many more episodes ahead of us. So we can't it just can't be foods all the time. We gotta sprinkle it around a bit. Yep. Thank you. But this is the end of the episode, Draq, and we did a good job even without Joppa for a second week in a row.
Tune in next week where hopefully we will have more Joppa streams for you.
We'll see.